In my career, I've generated tens of millions of dollars strictly just from Facebook ads alone. Now, look, I don't want to toot my horn, but most of the things people do on Facebook ads are counterintuitive, counterproductive to actually going and making your ads scale. The things I see every single day looking at accounts at Hyros, which is the fastest growing ad tracking company in the world, so I have a little bit insight on what's working and what's not. And what I see is a lot of people are doing things that really limit their accounts. And if you do what I show you in this video, I can almost nearly guarantee you're going to see a 20 to 50% increase in your ads, because frankly, these things are not that simple. It's not like you have to go and rework the entire system and then get Albert Einstein and Elon Musk and then have them make a baby and then have them come optimize your system with AI. You really just have to go and understand what is going to make Facebook move forward and what's going to make it move backwards. I'm also sorry about making you picture the baby of Elon Musk and Albert Einstein in your head. I apologize. So that being said, that's what we're going to get into. You should also subscribe to this channel because I, Alex Becker, have nearly a decade's worth of experience, over $30 million in sales in advertising alone. And I also am the CEO of the fastest growing ad tracking company in the world, Hyros, which gives me even more cool insights. So you subscribe, because I'm just going to tell you everything I know and everything I see, because if your ads scale, you're probably going to need to get better attribution, which you can get through Hyros, which is guaranteed to increase the ROI on your ads by 15 to 20%, or you don't pay. No, seriously, you should check it out after this video. But let's get into this. Okay, guys, so we're at the whiteboard of truth and justice. If you want to know why it's called that, it's because there's a lot of truth and justice going on here. So if you're an evildoer who lies a lot, you should probably back away from this video. It might make your skin burn. So look, I'm just going to start with the top 5 things you need to be doing on Facebook. If you just do these 5 things, you're going to have a good time. So let's just start from the top. The number one thing I can tell you about Facebook ads, or any ads in general, but super duper Facebook ads, is just go high ticket. What does this mean? So what high ticket means is you want to be highly priced for your industry. So for example, if you're like in the fitness industry, $297 to $1,000 is high ticket. If you're in the B2B software industry, $10,000 would be high ticket. If you're in the info industry or you're selling information courses, $5,000 would be high ticket. You got to really look at your industry overall and see what the higher end products being sold are, the ones that are more expensive. You don't really have to rack your brain on this. I can guarantee there's high ticket products being sold in your face. And the deeper you can get towards the high-end spectrum, the better. Now, what I mean by high-end is don't just take your product and be like, now it's $5,000. I was selling it for $100 yesterday. That means look at the products selling for $5,000 in your space, the most expensive things selling. So, for example, in SaaS, I'm in SaaS, you can look at something like Segment when it originally came out. They were selling, I think, for like $10,000 up front, or they sell large business packages. If you look at HubSpot back in the day, the way they really made their ads work really well is they start charging a year up front. That's high ticket. They found a way to make their product high ticket. If you look at some info products out there in info coaching, instead of selling a $47 product, people sell a more exclusive mastermind for, I don't know, $10,000. This is what I'm referring to right here. And you might even be wondering, how can I do this in something like the supplement space? It's quite easy. You just find a way to package all your products together into a larger upfront sale, and you can actually just go out there and actually slap some info marketing or a course on top of it to increase the value even more. So for example, I believe Dr. Axe was selling all of his supplements all together with like a gut healing course at the same time for $199 to $297, which is pretty high ticket in the supplement space. I've seen people do this all the way up to like $497. Why do you want to bend over backwards to do this? It's very simple. Your goal with ads, and the best way to make your ads hyper profitable, like insanely profitable, is to make your goal of your ads to acquire customers at a profit. What does this mean? So most people's goal of their ads is just to make profit. This is bad because it actually slows your business down a whole lot. You want to acquire customers first as your main goal while making a profit or breaking even. But when you go high ticket, you can have the best of both worlds. Why is this so important? Why is this so important? So the hardest part of a business is getting not sales from ads. It is going and getting enough customers in your brand to consistently not need ads. If you can make a brand where you have a customer base that repeatably buys, you are going to be comically wealthy. That is the number one main thing. Now, how can we best acquire customers? How can we scale up so we can acquire customers as easily as possible? Easy. The ads have to be profitable. If you have an ad for every $1,000 you spend, you make $2,000 back while acquiring, let's say, 100 customers at $10 each. You could scale that ad all the way to $20,000 a day in theory and be capturing, excuse me if I mess up my math any point in this video, 2,000 new customers a day who can then come and spend, let's say if each of them spends with you over the rest of the year, an additional $20, well, you're pumping out $40,000 a day in additional revenue on top of, let's say, I don't know, $40,000 a day of actual revenue coming in at a $20,000 hard cost. This is juicy. Even if we remove this right here, this is juicy. See, the problem with ads that's really hard and where most people get caught up is it's really hard to convert people from cold traffic. You're going to have some people that are going to buy, but most people are not going to buy. So the key here is just look at this simple metric right here. Let's say we have 1,000 people come through a funnel and we have a $99 product. Okay. If we have only 10% of people buy this product right here, which is the most insane conversion rate ever. You're not going to have 10% of people come from a cold funnel and buy ever, especially at $99. But let's imagine this is an insane, super crazy world. It's the best funnel ever. You're going to make $10,000 for that 1,000 people that came in. But let's imagine to get those 1,000 people to come in, you're paying $10 per person, which is very reasonable. Okay, very reasonable. So let's imagine you run this. It costs you $10 per lead. You get 1,000 people in. 10% of those people buy at $99. Okay, cool. So we get 100 sales at $100. Got $10,000. Woo! Awesome. That sounds pretty good, right? Except we just literally broke even with the world's greatest converting funnel. So let's imagine we switch this up a little bit. We keep the same exact numbers, but we get 1,000 people in, and we get 1% of them to buy a $2,000 product. Just 1%, not great conversion rates. Okay, we get 1% of them to buy a $2,000 product. Well, we just made $20,000 in sales. And we get 1% of them to buy a $2,000 product. Well, we just made $20,000 in sales. I'm sorry, I'm drawing this very badly, but there you go. 1% of people in the funnel, that's 10 $2,000 sales. We doubled our money while getting the same 1,000 people into the business. That's just why it works. And I'm going to tell you, it's way easier to do this than it is to do this, because there's going to be a certain amount of people that come into your funnel that are just really targeted customers and really want to buy. So let's say we're selling information on how to improve your business's Facebook ads. Okay. And we could sell a $99 course, or we could just go a little bit higher ticket and make a more exclusive master course for $2,000. It's going to be impossible to do this. It's going to be extremely easy to do this. The same concept applies in almost every niche. Any niche I've ever seen going high ticket with your ads is a better way. Then you can sell anything else you want because you have this 1,000 people in your business that are now targeted customers. They know who your brand is. They know what you're all about. They can buy your other products. But more importantly, we got these 1,000 people in for free while making a $10,000 profit. That's the big coconut right here. And then we can retarget these people right here. We can market to them more. We can put them on an email list. We can do all sorts of things to them. And it's going to just do this. I stress to you, I very rarely see businesses crush it with this, and I see businesses crush it nonstop doing this. So the next lesson I have for you is keep your ads simple and basic. When I see people running Facebook ads, I see all these ones with dramatic videos. They have like these cameras flying around, and they have all these things going on. And the first thing you need to understand when it comes to ads is the most important thing you can ever do with ads is be able to get fast feedback loops. Because a lot of times, even if you go and make the world's best shot ad, it's probably not going to work. Okay, most ads fail. So investing tons of time in an ad or investing tons of effort into an ad instead of going and getting ads out quickly is actually going to just ruin your chances of having effective ads. It's way better to make almost sloppy or simple to make ads that you can quickly put out there and get an answer back very quickly so you can find the answer and message that works. Because what gets people to buy on Facebook and what gets people to go through your ads on Facebook is the message. And that's really it. People are going to react to certain wordings of your product, certain benefits, and certain angles. And your main goal as a person running ads is to find out that message. So let me explain it like this. When I started up Hyros, a lot of people think, well, I just need to make better shot ads or more in-depth ads or talk more in ads. No. At Hyros, I started off with 3 messages. Okay, I started off with 3 different messages. Let's just say, let's say I'm running a B2B ad in general. Okay, let's say I'm running a B2B ad for roofers. The first ad focuses on saving money for roofers. The next one focuses on making more money. The next one focuses on using a special optimization to get them more customers, a cheat list or something like that. Let's say a cheat list. Okay, when I was running House, I had 4 or 5 different messages I tested. I used the same filming setup, the same simple videos that I'll show you here in a second. This message didn't work. This message didn't work. This message went insane, okay? Out of the 5 messages I used, one of them went absolutely nuts. And my ad costs plummeted, my ad results skyrocketed. The ad results did not come from me filming a better video. In fact, if I'd spent tons of time making in-depth videos and I just committed to those ones, I wouldn't be able to get that feedback loop fast enough to find out the message in my business that was actually converting people. The way I made ads that worked really well was simply by making simple ads that I could produce rapidly. That's the most important thing. You can see right here, look at this ad right here. This ad performs super well. Performs super well. Let's skip the fluff. How lowers ad costs by as much as 52% while increasing ROI, period. Here's how. I'm not going to read the rest of it because all there is a picture of me saying, our tracking AI skills your ads or you don't pay. This ad right here crushes it. It is simply a picture of me taken last year with some simple text and a picture of Elon Musk with AI stamped on his head. That took me literally 15 seconds to make. And then the headline right here, new AI gets customers cheaper. Learn more. Okay, this ad right here is actually very complicated because it took many iterations and micro changes to do this. But overall, to produce the overall ad and then get feedback on those micro changes and optimization took seconds. Feedback loops are how you improve ads quickly, not by going and making complicated ads. I guarantee if we just go through my Facebook newsfeed right now, extremely well shot, well filmed ads like this going through. Look, we can talk about all day if there's some benefit to this, and I'm sure having slightly more professional ads works really well, but this just looks like a TV commercial right here, and it doesn't even have subtitles. We don't even gotta talk about that. But I guarantee right here, it took them so long to make this video right here. Like, there had to be multiple people involved in this. We had to get this good, crazy camera set up right here. All the photography, all this stuff going on right here. We don't even know if this is the ad message that works the best. We don't even know if this is what converts people. We don't even know if what's being said in the video is something that hooks people. We got to find that hook. And then if you're going to make these complicated videos, you're going to make more complicated, more professional ads, get your message first. Split test ugly, simple ads till kingdom comes. Find the one that gets you the absolute lowest conversion rates or lowest cost of acquisition rates, and then make the professional video. I can almost guarantee you that the professional video will do worse. Okay? I've had PowerPoint presentation ads destroy well-shot, well-optimized, beautiful ads that I've made. Okay, so take that to heart. Next thing, with your ads, this is where everybody dies in Facebook. This is where literally every single person dies in Facebook. There's 2 markets you can only get into. All right, so let's say you're in the space for teaching real estate agents to get more clients. There's only 2 markets you can focus on that will work and allow you to scale. Let's say we're in real estate, teaching people to get more clients. You can either focus on people who are absolute beginners, aka they've never even thought of making real estate their business. They've never thought of getting in the real estate and actually becoming a real estate agent. Okay? Or you sell to people that are already making, let's say, $50,000 a year from real estate. What most people do in Facebook is they try to market to both these audiences at once. This is the biggest single mistake on Facebook ads. Everyone does this. And then they can't get on the YouTube ads because YouTube ads punishes this 10 times more than Facebook does. See, what Facebook does when you first get into it is most people try to market to both at once. So they're going to make a course that can help beginners start their first real estate business, but also is designed for existing real estate agents who are already making money. This works on Facebook to a certain extent because at low scale, you can really target both these people right here, and the market and the targeting on Facebook is forgiving enough to let you get away from this. But the second you start to scale, what happens is you go into a broader market and you start advertising to more people. And Facebook's optimization is just not nearly as good at this level. All right. And it doesn't matter. There isn't enough people in this targeting bubble for it to work, even if it had the best optimization. Okay. There just isn't enough people for you to go this far out in scaling for it to bring you enough customers to scale with. So what you have to do is you have to make sure you advertise to only one end of the spectrum so you can maximize who you're advertising to. You can't advertise to two people at once. They're in completely different positions. It doesn't work. And so what people do is they do this and they keep trying to scale out, and then our ads keep dying. This is why 90% of people's ads die and they can't scale on Facebook. And this is why e-commerce businesses have such an easier time scaling on Facebook, because they never try to market really outside their niche. If they're selling something, if they're selling a supplement that helps people lower their cholesterol, they're only selling to those people. That's it. Maybe men 40 to 60, they pick their demographic and they just go in on it. The thing with almost every other niche, people don't pick a demographic and go in on it. If you pick a demographic and go in on it, you're going to dominate it, and you're actually going to see better ROIs at low scale, and you might not even have to scale. So for example, at Hyros, I only need to spend $2,000 to $3,000 a day to generate tens and tens of thousands of dollars a day. I'm not going to get into the exact metrics, but it's a lot. All right. So either make a product for existing real estate agents making money, and in your ads, do not focus on beginners. You can even say, this is not for beginners. This is for real estate agents making only $50,000 plus a year. Or say, this is for absolute beginners. This is for absolute beginners. This is the easiest way to make money ever. This is a great way to make money. You don't even mention real estate in the ad. Why do you do this? Because beginners are going to be repulsed by a course that is too in-depth and too focused on real estate up front. They're looking for a way to make money quickly. They're looking for a way to get started without effort. Okay, so they're going to gravitate towards something that's super beginner oriented and start for someone who's just looking to start their first business ever. That's what they're going to gravitate to. They're not going to want to buy a course that's even sort of made for a real estate agent. They're going to be like, I'm not in real estate. I have all these pre-existing expectations and I've never done it before, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to go for this course over here that tells me I can make money starting this new, fresh, crazy business. That's what they're going to go for. And then real estate agents are going to be repulsed by any course that even is sort of for beginners. Why? Because they're not a beginner. Why would they buy a course that's sort of for a beginner? If I'm buying a set of golf clubs and I'm an expert golfer, I'm going to buy expert level golf clubs. I'm not going to buy an expert level a golf club that sort of works for beginners and is sort of awesome for experts. I'm going to buy something that's tailored for me. If I'm a beginner, I'm not going to buy expert golf clubs. I'm not going to buy middle tier golf clubs. I'm going to buy beginner golf clubs. So don't be in the middle tier because you can't scale the middle tier. Okay. You can stay very low scale and sell a very expensive product to super targeted people, do very well. You can go mega high scale and sell to mass people. So for example, if you want to take over the golf market, guess what? 80% of the golf market, I would not be surprised, is mostly people who play once a year or are beginners in golf. And if you're going to get the largest chunk of that market, you got to make it for the beginner golfer. The end. And the 5% of the market that is expert level golfers that will spend $10,000 on a pair of clubs, they're not going to buy anything else except those $10,000 clubs. So just make the $10,000 clubs and sell to them. That's how you're going to make the money on Facebook. Next thing I'm going to tell you that is so incredibly important is look at the overall stats. So if I go and look at, let's just say last 30 days on this, okay? So I go and look at these stats right here. A lot of people are going to go and they're going to look at like this one right here. Let's just even go and we'll go to like delivery. Okay. And they're going to look at all these stats, video engagement. They're going to dig through all of these. These are all useless. These are all useless stats. There's only one stat that matters and a few major stats after that that are important. And the best way you can make progress in ads is understand this simple concept. ROI is all that matters. Okay, because in context of everything, this is it. CPC, CPM, all of this is irrelevant. Why? Because you can have a great CPC and a bad ROI. You can have a great CPM and a bad ROI. What I look at ads, let's say I'm running a webinar funnel, or let's say I'm running a call funnel. What I'm going to look at is key metrics. This would be cost per lead. Okay, everybody that opts in, cost per call, and then overall in context of ROI. If ROI is bad, none of these matter. But you have to understand that, let's say cost per call and CPL or cost per opt-in, these indicate and are a reflection of the other stats. Okay, so look, we could have a great CPM, but if our cost per call is high, it doesn't matter. If we have a great CPM and our cost per lead is high, it doesn't matter. What is going to control CPL and cost per click and in relation to ROI is going to be the message of the ad. So for example, we could have an ad that has terrible cost per click, but a good CPL and an amazing ROI. an amazing ROI. You could also have an ad that has a great cost per click, a great CPL, and a terrible ROI. Why is this? Let's imagine I was running an ad in the info marketing space, okay? And I was selling a $10,000 mastermind. Well, I could have an ad that talks about beginning your first business online and is very, very broad and appeals to everybody. Then I can have an opt-in that appeals to everybody. So I can have a great cost per click, attract tons of people into the funnel, a great CPL, tons of people who are really cheap leads and Facebook eyes are opting in, and then none of them buy the product. Okay? So what you need to do is you don't want to be looking at CPC or CPM. You want to make sure your ad is bringing in the right people, which is going to be reflected by your ROI. And then you want to go, and once that ROI is there, focus on the key metrics right here. What I focus on in Hyros is exclusively the cost per call, since I know I'm bringing in the right people at this point. So look, my cost per call right here is going to then be a reflection of my CPM and my CPC. If my ad is doing its job and getting the right people in based on the ROI and cost per call, then it's naturally going to go down. And so then what I try and do while focusing on the message of the ad is lower the cost per call by making the ad and the opt-in or the funnel better. Okay, that's what I'm going to try and lower. I'm never going to try and lower these other stats that I can't control. You can't control your CPM, and frankly, your CPM doesn't matter. This is what matters right here. Focus on the key metrics. Finally, that being said, my last tip for you is, again, get the metrics that actually matter. One of the biggest problems with Facebook ads, I'm going to show you straight up right here, is that the attribution is usually not correct, because Facebook is wildly inaccurate with its view-through conversions. If people skim through an ad, okay? I skim past this ad right here. I look at this for 2 seconds, skim past. Facebook's going to give itself credit if you don't have last click only attribution on. Okay. On top of that, you have to understand if you have a business that has any other traffic sources, like look, if you have a business that's just exclusively, if you have a small e-commerce business, for example, and you don't have any back-end sales, you don't have any other interaction with your business besides the ad and the sale, not going to be entirely hard for Facebook to track. But if you have a business where you have Google searches, you have ads, you have YouTube ads running, you have an email list, you have people just organically interacting with the business on a daily basis, coming back and buying more. Facebook is going to start giving it credit for like literally everything because of this problem right here. If there was ever a click at any time, it's just going to give itself credit because it doesn't talk to the rest of your business. This results in you doing all sorts of goof troopery. The biggest thing would be investing in ads that aren't paying off. Like, for example, Facebook said this one generated 2 calls. It didn't. It didn't. And what I'm looking at right here is the Hyros Chrome extension, which again, I can go look at all the very, very deep tracking that's in the Hyros dashboard. But if I just click here, I can go and see exactly who came in and I can see exactly where they clicked and where they came from. I can see everything this person did and I can see all the ads this person clicked on the way there. You can see they actually clicked multiple Facebook ads, came through, and then came through our email list and came in. This is where they came in at. Okay, he clicked welcome on one of our emails. So I can see exactly where this guy came from. And I can see that this guy's first click wasn't even on the date that Facebook was giving it. Facebook gave credit right here, okay, which it did. And so of course the credit right here is accurate. But this guy right here actually clicked for the first time in 2020, all right, almost 6 months ago. So you need to have correct attribution because you're going to be investing in ads that aren't actually paying off and you're going to be killing ads that are paying off. For example, this one right here reported 2 calls. I actually got 4 calls from it. Okay. At this point right here, the CP cost per call right here is acceptable for me even at $150, at $71 actually, but I'm actually getting $35 calls. I need to be like quadrupling down on this ad. On top of that, feeding this data back to Facebook is incredibly important. I don't do it on this account because it's one of my smaller accounts. My bigger accounts that I use for more serious business stuff, I feed the data back to Facebook and it allows the AI to optimize much better because, again, it's missing half the data right here that it should be optimizing for. So what I suggest you do, get some type of attribution software. If you're interested in having that and not wasting money on bad ads and saving a lot more money on ads that aren't actually performing well and then increasing ads that are performing well and then combining it with AI optimization to make your ads perform much better overall, check out Hyros below this video. There's no reason to be running any ads at scale without something like Hyros. And again, we guarantee that you're going to see a 15 to 20% minimum increase in your ads or you don't pay for it. So check it out when the video's done, maybe. And really, guys, that's the video for today. If you do those 5 things that most people don't do, It's so simple. Those things I broke down, most people just don't do those things. And it's why they are wasting so much money and time on Facebook ads. They're spending so much time in their dashboard and playing with all these irrelevant stats and going to agencies and all these things when it's really quite simple if you just nail the things that actually matter. That being said, guys, subscribe to the channel. I'm releasing 3 videos like this week going forward, covering YouTube ads, funnels, everything. If you're in the ads for your business and want to make more money from your ads, I'm just going to tell you how to do it, and I know how to do it. If you want a little bit more something, if you want something a little bit more on depth, check out my Iron Mastermind below this video. I have more results when it comes to ads than any other ad mastermind that's being offered online right now. I'm not even joking. You can click below and see all the results. And again, if you don't see results, you're not happy with it, all my products have a ridiculously long refund guarantee. You don't pay if you don't see results. That's simple. So that being said, this is Alex Becker. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for being cool and checking this out and hanging out with me for 30 minutes. You must be really sick of me by now. And I'll see you in the next video.